The most important information that we're going to be getting for the new Archon map inside of Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies has officially released. As of the other day, we finally learned what Cortifex's feet look like. I mean, dude, look at these things. He's got like little chicken feet. That's literally the foot of a chicken. No, obviously we're talking about what's to come with the Archon map. Now, we've already gone over a little bit about what's coming in this map, you know, remake of Terra Maledicta, but Treyarch did release a little bit more information, including what we are getting as wonder weapons. So first and foremost, instead of a normal wonder weapon for this map, we're just going to be able to use wonder weapons that are already in the game. Literally everything they made for this map is reused. I'm going to start to sound a little bit salty here just because, well, I kind of am. But we're going to scroll through and look at what they have to say, because there's actually an interesting point here at the end that I really want to get into. So going through the blog post that Treyarch put on here, they said earlier this year the Vanguard Zombies team received a mountain of constructive feedback around the launch of Terra Maledicta. As we digested everything we heard from the community, one request kept coming over and over. The map's Egyptian and Dark Ether setting would make for a killer round-based map. We agreed. Now, I think I speak for everybody when I say we thought the map would be good as like a round-based map, but just like turning Terra Maledicta into a round-based map. There is not a single person on the planet that was asking for the last map of Vanguard Zombies to be a remake of Terra Maledicta, the fastest remake of all time. Now, they said the team immediately shifted its focus to the Archon for Season 5 once production of Shino Numa was complete. So production of Shino Numa, we can assume, was completed shortly before Season 4, which was at least, you know, 2 months ago. So they had, we're going to call it 2.5 months. They had 2.5 months to create this map, and it's a remake of the second map we had in the game. Now, they say in addition to the new quests and narrative, Cortifex's last stand at the end of the main quest is unquestionably the crown jewel of the Archon. Rather than devoting valuable development time to additional features or more covenants, the team placed a priority on creating a truly memorable boss fight on a scale rarely seen in zombies. We think you'll agree if you can survive the trials. And we get our first look at Cortifex. If when we fight Cortifex, if this is all we see of him and we're just fighting this weird half like monster thing coming out, that's stupid. But they say that this is the boss fight is going to be the biggest part of this. Now, of course, in terms of boss fights we've had for Call of Duty Zombies in the past, the one that comes up the most for like the best boss fight in all of history was the Mephistopheles boss fight from Infinite Warfare. And while I'm sure a lot of people maybe didn't get the chance to play that, if this is similar to the Mephistopheles boss fight, that's great. But if it's not fun to get there, why would we play it over and over to get to that point? If the idea is that the boss fight's so good, but they don't give us anything that makes it worth going for, who really cares? So like I said, there was something I want to get to at the end of this video that we can see here from our friend Zapped. First, I want to point out that Zapped said, I hope it's like Firebase Z, where Terra is the starting area, but then you teleport to Cortifex's lair, but an expanded version. Obviously, Cortifex's lair, where we were at the end of Terra Maledicta, and he says, looks like that's correct. Which means, again, the starting area is going to be Terra Maledicta, which we're used to, but hopefully, based on what I'm understanding from Zapped here, and I could be wrong, maybe the Cortifex's lair just ends up being the boss fight arena. But if it's like Firebase, where you just kind of start like in Firebase, how you started in the little town or the village, and then you transported to the Firebase itself, and that's where most of the gameplay was, I'm hoping that's what he means here when he says this about Call of Duty Vanguard's new green Terra Maledicta. He also says, now, this isn't all bad. If they put little time into the map, but instead put a majority of their resources into the Easter egg and boss fight and an ending cutscene, that could be pretty cool. He then quote tweeted that and said, that's what they did. Based on what I was understanding from what they said in the blog post, it made it sound like they only put a lot of effort into the boss fight itself. So the Easter egg, you know, who knows what it could be. Obviously, the Easter eggs in this game haven't been that great. Shino Numa's easily being the best one. But it'll be interesting to see exactly how much time they put into this, because again, I think that the majority of fun in Call of Duty Zombies maps at this point, of course, at this point, is the Easter egg that we do. We saw in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, for example, some of the maps weren't all that special, weren't all that great. I mean, you compare them to Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, so on and so forth. They're really not as fun as some of those maps. But the Easter eggs were better. The Easter eggs were more fun to do, more enjoyable to replay, and I think that would be a big talking point for this if they do actually plan on making that happen with more time put into the Easter egg. And finally, he says they went all out on the boss fight. I think that, of course, is the biggest thing that, you know, we should talk about here, because obviously the boss fight is, hey man, Like, we are fighting against Cortifex. This is the end of Vanguard Zombies and leading us into Cold War Zombies. And we've talked a little bit about Cortifex and whatnot in Von List in Cold War Zombies. I think that this has to be the most important thing. If Zapped is saying they put it all in on the boss fight, I'm really not that excited to see what the map looks like. I mean, of course, the map looks like this. No. Green Terra Maledicta, I did all the work myself. I know, I should work at Treyarch. I know, thank you. We have just a few more days until this map releases, so it'll be interesting to see kind of what all we have and what comes with it. Of course, only time will tell. Here's officially what they said about the map when they announced it earlier. And yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.